Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations. In today's video, obviously, we're going to be diving back into some Cookie Run Kingdom, and I'm going to be refreshing my crystal guide, talking about the best ways to farm crystals in this game. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Diving right in, ladies and gentlemen, so the number one and probably the most obvious way that you can grind out crystals in this game is going to bring us to the world exploration or story mode, whatever you want to call it, all right? So naturally, the story mode is going to be very simple. You just got to get and collect these golden stars. You can see I've currently got 100% collected, but if I did not have 100% collected, for instance, if we head over here to episode 12, you can see here that we are missing some of those, but once we collect all 90 golden stars, you can see we're going to get an additional 700 crystals. So again, very, very obvious, but one of the easiest ways to do this. Same thing goes for the dark mode. If we head over here to the dark mode, we got to go back to a different stage. But if we head over here to the dark mode, you can see that once we accumulate additional, I would say purple stars in this case, then you can get certain crystals at certain milestones. But then you also, once you reach 90 for the dark mode, you are going to be then getting soul stones for a specific cookie. So it's a little bit different than story mode, but still just ideally the same when it comes to collecting those stars to get the crystals. Alrighty, then officially jumping in here to the second way to farm crystals, and probably the most lucrative, I would say, long term, and that is going to be taking advantage of the season resets. Speaking of resets here, the very first one that we're going to talk about, and that's going to be the Kingdom Arena reset. Now, pretty much everybody that's been playing this game or following my content for quite some time knows this one because, again, it's very, very lucrative. One of the best ways to get a large amount of crystals. Basically, as you can see here at the end of the season, based on whatever tier that you end the season on, you're going to get that large amount of crystals, and on top of that, the additional medals. And then obviously, just as you increase your tier in general, once you officially hit that tier for the very first time, you will then get the additional crystals on the right-hand side. Now, this is a very good way to achieve crystals, guys, especially, like I said, long term. You're going to be playing the game for an entire season anyway. You might as well make sure that you try to climb up as many tiers as possible to get that additional crystals. The second way here that you can also take advantage of when it comes to resets, and that's going to be the guild reset. Now, this one is a little bit sooner and faster, but nevertheless, based on your overall contribution and how well your guild does at the end of the week, you yourself will also get an additional compensation in your inbox. Again, it's a smaller amount compared to something like the Kingdom Arena, but still, nevertheless, it's still enough crystals to at least do some summons and then carry you forward. And then the third one we got here, and that's for resets, and that's going to be the limited edition game modes that they continue to cycle in the game. And one of those game modes is going to be things like the brand new Kingdom Alliance. If we head over here to the Kingdom Alliance, you can see that, again, based on your overall rank at the end of the season yourself individually, and also going to be based on your guild's rank, you will receive a different amount of crystals, and this time, instead of medals, it's actually going to be rainbow cubes. Now, keep in mind here, though, that this game mode is going to be changing, or at least it has been changing, and therefore that the reward can actually change. Some of the events you might get less crystals, and some of them you might get rainbow cubes, for instance, for the Cookie Alliance. The next event might not be giving rainbow cubes and might give you something like medals like the arena does, very similar to the Super Mayhem that we just had. Nevertheless, at the end of the day, just get in here and grind out these limited game modes because, again, it's just an easy way to get some additional crystals. And then officially diving in here to another way that you could grind out some crystals, guys, and that is going to bring us to the event section. Now, I know that I say this a lot in pretty much almost every one of my tips and tricks videos, but guys, I absolutely mean it. Farming events in this game is a very easy way to claim resources, and that means even crystals. Now, speaking of events, you can take a look at the ones we've currently got available here in the game. Now, there are going to be a couple limited events here that are going to be specific to whatever update is around the corner. But nevertheless, you can see here, even as easy as the T-Night Cookie event, we click on the rewards, you have the ability to pull crystals underneath each one of these books. Nothing too spectacular here, but still, it can be all the way up to 500 crystals, and that's going to be additional crystals that you didn't have otherwise. But one of the big events here that I want to talk about, and that's going to be the gift month, guys. Naturally, you have the daily login gift and some of these other smaller events that, yes, they do give you a bunch of crystals, but like I said before, they do alternate complete, and they do kind of swap out from giving you crystals and other materials and resources, so you can't really count on them for a long-term video. For today, though, what I want to talk about, the very first one is going to be things like the Golden Age of Trade. Now, when it shows up, naturally, we don't really know because we thought we had a season for this, or at least we had a system or a pattern, but it seems like Dev Sisters have just changed this on us and drop it whenever they feel like it. But nevertheless, it's a very good source of crystals, guys, not only for completing the missions that you can see here on screen, but also for your overall rank. At the very end, wherever you are placed in this overall event, you're going to get that additional amount of crystals, gold, and even experience jellies. Once again, it's not going to be as lucrative as things like the season resets and stuff, but still a very good thing to take advantage of and to take into account every single season. And then the last one here that I want to mention, and that's going to be the Train Marathon. Now, this one here in this specific slot in the store actually alternates to something different every 3 days. It goes from like trains to balloons to just other types of things. So again, nevertheless, make sure you are peeking on this event section constantly, checking out whatever is available for you guys to just collect and claim if you guys don't already get the notification, because like I said, guys, it's free resources. And then now officially diving in here to another very good way of getting crystals, and not going to be the best, most lucrative way, but nevertheless, you're going to be grinding it out anyways, and that's going to be the Chaos Tower. The Tower of Sweet Chaos here, guys, does reset on a season notice, but at the end of the day, you don't really get anything from your overall progression at the end of the season. However, it just resets and allows you to climb up all the trays again. Once again, though, having the ability to open up the chest. As you can see here on stage 86-1 and 86-2, I had the ability to pick and choose between these two chests. The one on the right-hand side, obviously, I picked because it had more crystals or more whatever resource I wanted out of it, but you can see 86-1 is going to be giving us 800 crystals on top of some other really good resources. Same thing goes for other chests all the way down here. Some of them will give you additional crystals, some will not give you crystals, some will give you things like this here, Aurora pieces and speed ups. Just make sure that you are completing the Tower of Sweet Chaos, and if you've got any additional keys towards the end of the season, that you go back and utilize them on those additional chests so you can at least take advantage of those free crystals and resources. Alrighty, and then officially diving in here to the last way that I want to talk about when it comes to grinding out crystals in this game, and that's going to be kind of like a catch-all, or like, you know, pretty much everything else that's small amounts summed into one. Some of those things are going to be things like the Fountain of Abundance, right? The Fountain of Abundance has the ability to generate some crystals over time. Again, not thousands and thousands at one time, but still every little bit counts. Same thing goes for the train orders, so naturally getting in here, making sure that your trains are always running and doing something, they will come back and produce some sort of crystals. The Tree of Wishes here also has the ability to produce crystals, among other really important aspects, things like Aurora pieces and experience jellies that you can utilize for leveling up your cookies. You've also got the Balloon Expedition, again, another very good way for you to generate some, you know, passive resources just by allowing the balloon to be gone. Another really big one is going to be things like the Kingdom Season Pass. If you guys, whether you have paid for it or not paid for it, it still delivers some amount of crystals. Again, nothing too crazy, but you can see here, just on the free version, you're going to get 100 crystals there, and then as you scroll all the way through here, that might be it. Yeah, might be it for the free version, but you guys get the point here. You're still going to be receiving some sort of crystals, and then the same thing goes for something like the Tropical Soda Island. I've said this a bazillion times about the Tropical Soda Islands, guys. It's a very easy way to just passively generate the 3 most important resources or currencies in the game. You've got experience jellies for your cookies, you've got gold for everything else in the game, and then third and last, you've got crystals, again, to utilize at your leisure. But nevertheless, do not sleep on Tropical Soda Islands. You guys need to be unlocking it as soon as possible. And then the last thing here I want to mention before we hop out, and that's just going to be talking about, yes, compensation in your inbox could be very lucrative. Just understand and know that it is not going to be something that you can count on. It's very going to be here and there, and not only that, the compensation that is awarded might be very good or might be very bad. At the end of the day, just know it's an added bonus to get some additional crystals on top of all the other strategic ways you are farming them. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude today's video on the best ways to farm crystals in this game. There's no secret, man. You have to get in here and play the game in order to be the most lucrative when it comes to farming crystals. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, or you can open up that fat wallet and spend money and buy crystals in packs. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for anything and everything Cookie Run Kingdom. We cover it here on the channel. I've also got a Discord. The link's provided down below. We've got over 6,000 players, so if you're looking for a place to hang out or you need some help, definitely join. I would invite you there. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next one.